Tonight, Mayor Bill de Blasio facing more criticism over chronic tardiness. Hey, listen, this isn't anything new here. Any major elected official, they kind of operate on their own calendar or own schedule sometimes. But many argue this might be taken to a different level. On Wednesday, the mayor was scheduled to speak at 5 after 9, in the morning in Rockaway Park in Queens. The event, it was held to honor the lives lost on November 12, 2001, when American Airlines Flight 587 crashed to the ground, killing 265 people. And the mayor, he missed his slot in the program. Organizers waited around for more than 20 minutes. De Blasio, he missed the moment of silence when the bell was tolled to honor the lives that were lost, and the organizers, they were forced to take the podium in his absence. The Post and the Daily News, they had the story splashed on their front pages. One woman who lost 5 of her family members say she and others felt disrespected by the mayor's tardiness. One person at the service said he showed up late and he didn't even say, "I'm sorry, it was a shame." De Blasio says he overslept. Mayor says, "I wasn't feeling well the morning and I had a very rough night. I woke up sluggish and I should have gotten myself moving quicker. I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't get back to sleep." Okay, and this came after originally blamed the fog, slowing down the transportation or whatever else. Again, he's not the first guy to be late or chronically late here as a mayor, let alone as an elected official. But don't certain events you got to be there on time for, or God forbid, if you're late, you let people know you're going to be late and how to handle it differently. And when you do come, don't you do a mea culpa? I mean, aren't there 101 things? I mean, I know guys are late all the time. I'm not saying that he's breaking new ground here, but there's a way to handle these things,
yeah,
right?
But also his staff has to move him better, if only because this has become a hit on him.
Yeah.
And the fact that he admitted, here and earlier this year, that he's not a morning person just makes this a sensational story that will go on
It's
and
an
on
easy
and on
front page story
every
for the
time
news
he's
and the
late.
Post.
I mean, a lot of elected officials are late because they cram schedules too tight. But Bill de Blasio came out and admitted that he has a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, and that's not a great moniker to wear as a mayor.
This is dopey.
It's dopey, except it's a front page story.
No. I'm not. This is dopey on his behalf.
Yeah.
It's like speeding to the announcement about the speed limit and stuff. There's a 10-year problem this guy has, and his people around him. Someone's got to shape the operation up.
Traditionally, Richard, who in the office makes sure this doesn't happen?
The guy, the coat carrying guy.
Call the advanced people.
Yep.
Yeah. The guy who always. Dinkins used to have a guy who I knew pretty well, who always had Arnie Segarra.
With the extra shirt.
With the extra shirt and the extra jacket. Those are the guys who lean over to them and say, "You're running late, let's get going."
Right.
The problem is...
And they got to be strong.
They have to be strong. But look, you can't blame the staff for this. This guy has been walking into walls of this sort for a year now. It's enough already, and it's getting in the way.
But let's be honest, and I agree with Bill's assessment. The staff has to step up.
Oh.
Remember, it's not just the mayor. You have about 5 police officers with him. Whatever way the mayor's dressed that day, if he has on tennis outfits so that they blend in, the detectives wear tennis outfits. If he has on a tuxedo, they wear tuxedos. The NYPD that's assigned to protect him. So at all times, if you think you're just walking up to the mayor, you're kidding yourself. There are 5 heavily armed police officers around him at every time. So whenever he moves, they have to move with him. There's the advanced person that arrives at the event before the mayor.
Time out.
There's the mayor's driver.
I hear you, but you know what? There's one thing if you're cutting a ribbon on a park, okay?
Yes, but remember,
there's another thing if you're going to a memorial.
He was traveling via the river, so I assume he was being taken via NYPD boat. We don't know what happened. Maybe he does need to be more on time. But the mayor, I've covered the last 4 or 5 mayors. I don't know not a one of them that's on time.
People will forgive the occasional lateness.
This one was
He's
a
walking
major boo-boo.
into
It was a
walls.
mistake.
It's happening so often
give
that
you
he's
that.
got to stop it.
I'll give you that.
All right, let me get
Stop
to the
being an
next.
apologist for the powers.
Let me get to the
man.
next one here.
I'm a strong attacker of the mayor.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I was like,
he'll tell you.
I'm getting used to it. What's going on here? All right. Now, the mayor's promised to go after the police department's policies, certainly broken windows, or more specifically, stop and frisk. You could certainly argue it helped get him elected to office. However, critics say that actions speak louder than words, and to many, they're not saying the delivery here on those promises when it comes to this. De Blasio says he opposes a push that would make it illegal for police officers to use chokeholds and when facing questioning by reporters. He said, I think the best way to handle that is through NYPD policy. I get it. I actually think there's even Reynoso, who's on the city council, was saying that every time somebody, a cop is going to actually pat somebody down, they have to get a verbal approval or written approval. It's impractical. I'm not saying. However, the mayor turned around, Richard, and said, 10 months in, I'll match my record against any other mayor in terms of changes that have gone on in the police department. Is it unfair criticism, or do people have a fair expectation that this into the job, his signature issue, would have done more?
Strangely enough, this links up to this question of tardiness we just discussed. He's doing some things for which he deserves, in my opinion, real credit. And he's accomplished some stuff. Some stuff he hasn't gotten done yet. He's not a miracle worker. But it gets lost in these gaffes, faux pas, speeding tickets, tardiness. It's as though he kind of thinks he's off camera and he's sitting there picking his nose and the whole world sees it. Just don't do it. And I think his record will become clear. He's had a good substantive first year. Stop and frisk, fundamental changes, pre-K, big change. And yet people are talking about us being late. There's a style problem here with this guy that he's got to address.
Richard, his supporters on the left, they have to be realistic. He's the mayor of New York City.
Exactly.
What do you think this man is going to do? The same thing happened to David Dinkins and even Nelson Mandela when he was elected in South Africa. Those of the ANC in South Africa, they expected that Mandela was going to come into office and woof, everything you want is going to go that way. That's unrealistic. When you're elected, now de Blasio boxed himself in because he was elected on a platform of being anti-police. But that was candidate.
Right,
that was candidate de Blasio. I'm not suggesting I said it.
He said an
anti-police. I'm not suggesting I said it.
Take it back.
And
He may be wrong about what he did on Stop and Frisk.
His son with his afro. His son with his afro.
Dominic,
listen.
you're heading down the wrong path.
No.
He may be wrong in his policies.
He was more to the left. He was more to the left.
Can I maybe find a bridge here?
He was anti-police in his platform.
Do you think it was maybe, to be fair, maybe anti-police is strong. Maybe what he was is that he was going to be a police reformer.
He was anti-police. You can call it what you want. He was anti-police. But it worked. It got him elected.
It did not get him elected.
Don't believe
the
me.
Voting
Go ask
populace
Pat Lynch
of this,
and every police union in New
I
York
have a
City.
feeling we will continue to debate this in the break here.
The voting
When we come
populace
back,
of this
Bill,
city
quite while you're
is
ahead,
not
don't get dragged into this. When we come back, we will head across the river to New Jersey. Can't get there soon enough. Where the Assembly passed today a measure that would legalize physician-assisted suicide. After the break, we'll get reaction from Trenton and our panel. Stay with us.